And I started doing the math of how old I would be when she graduates high school. And I was like, I'm going to be 63. So when I go to her graduation, everyone is going to think that I'm a grandpa. And I need to make sure that I'm taking care of myself better so that I can be a young 63. And so right then I started focusing on my wellness. And then when my friend told me about this, I was like, this is it. This is exactly what I need in my life to live till I'm 120, 130 years old. And then I started doing the math again. I was like, so if I'm 120, how old are my girls going to be? They're going to be 80. How cool is that? Like, I'm going to get to spend 80 years with my two precious little girls. And so I decided in that moment that I was going to go all in, especially after my own transformation. And then I started hearing other people's transformations. And then all of my entrepreneur friends, when I brought this to them, I thought they would be like, you're crazy. I'm not doing that type of business. That's not it. And all of them, I just had a golf weekend with all of them, and everyone's putting their patches on in the morning, talking about how great they feel. And so that's why I'm really here. And I'm going to tell you guys, I have probably had over 45 different businesses in the last 25 years that I have bought, sold, ran. And this opportunity that I'm going to talk to you about today, and that's why I want you to really pay attention to what I'm going to talk about, because what I'm going to talk about today is what's taken all my businesses to the level that they're at, and this business right here. But this is the best opportunity that is going to be for another 300 years. We literally have been handed a lottery ticket by David to go out and determine how much we want that lottery with. And also, we've been handed a gift to really help people live a healthier life. And so that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. That's why I'm here. Even though I have a bunch of other businesses, I could retire today, but I can't retire knowing that I have a device in my hand that can literally transform humans. And that's what you got to think about when you don't feel like talking to someone, or you don't feel like bringing it up, or someone's on your chicken list. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. So what I want to talk to you guys about is how to think like a CEO and build it like a business and live it like a legacy. Okay. So good afternoon, everybody. I'm really, really excited to be with you guys today, but I'm going to warn you up front. I am very, very, very passionate about this stuff. I might talk a little fast. I've heard that I talk fast. I might get a little intense from time to time. You might not be used to that, but it's only because I care about helping you win at a higher level. That's the beautiful thing about this business. You know, there's a lot of negativity out there that you're going to get from people. It's direct sales, it's network marketing. I'm going to tell you, this is what this business should be called, is direct sharing. But that's all you have to do. You don't have to sell anything to anybody. You just have to share this over and over and over. And that's what's going to help you build this business. And I want to help as many of you do that. The ones that are watching it now, the ones that are going to watch us in the future, I want you to hear me. But the good news about this, you guys, is this webinar is recorded and it's going to be up on YouTube in a week or so. So if I go too fast today, it's okay. Go back and watch it, pause it, rewind it. Listen, I sit through a lot of virtual trainings and I always go back through the training because I want to pause it. I want to take notes. I want to figure out how I'm going to implement or execute on what what I've learned. So go back, pause it, rewind it, take notes, absorb it, take it in. Also share it with your teams. The most important part of this business, you guys, is duplication. The thing that's broken in this business is we don't share it with people that come in the organization. If they're third, fourth, fifth level, there's a good chance they don't have access to resources or know about this call. That is our job as leaders, as CEOs, to make sure that we get that cascaded message out to our team. Because repetition is the mother of mastery. And mastery is what's going to create momentum in your business. So today we're going to talk about something deeper than just setting goals. We're going to talk about how to think like a CEO. There's a book that I'm reading right now. I just started it today. It's called The Diary of a CEO. I recommend picking up that book. If you want to put that in the chat, Garrett, The Diary of a CEO. We are all CEOs, you guys. When you decided to start your Lifewave business, you became a CEO of your business. Your household, you are the CEO of your household. You are the CEO of your marriage. And I want to teach you how to treat your Lifewave business like a real business, not a hobby, not a side gig, but a business that deserves your respect, your strategy, and your leadership. Because this is the truth. If you treat your business like a hobby, It's going to pay you like a hobby. I love to play golf and I love to play paddle. My two favorite sports. They cost me money. They don't pay me money. They cost me money. Now, I get a lot of mental health benefits out of playing those sports. It helps me in my business, but they're hobbies and they cost money. If you treat this business like a business, it's going to pay you like a business. And if you treat it like an empire, it's going to pay you like one. This is an empire, you guys. A lot of us started this business for $295, $535, $1,700. Every business I'd ever started or ever invested in has cost no less than $250,000. And it took me 5 to 7 years to get a return. In this business, I was getting a return with no overhead, literally in a week. There's no business like this. When people say that's crazy, just ask them very simple questions. How much is your overhead in your business? How much are you paying for rent? How much do you pay for employees? You know what I pay? I pay zero. Now, the CEO mindset, you guys, let's break down what it means to think like a CEO. A CEO doesn't clock in and clock out. A CEO, you think David clocks in and clocks out? No. That man's mind's working all the time. That's why he has created and invented amazing things that's going to change humanity. A CEO doesn't say, I'll try. I'm going to try to build my business. Try is not in their vocabulary. In my household, my little girls are not allowed to say try, because try means I'll give it a shot, but I'm not invested. I don't believe. When you say I will, that's a commitment. That's a commitment to you. That's a commitment to the universe. A CEO doesn't wait for motivation. You're not going to be motivated 95% of the time. That's a fact of life. You're not going to feel like doing things 95% of the time. That's the moment you have to do it. That's what's called discipline. But a CEO builds and uses systems. A CEO studies the numbers. A CEO makes decisions when it's hard. A CEO leads people, even when they don't feel like leading. So I want you to ask yourself a question right now. Are you guys running a Lifewave business, or is it running you? Because I would say most businesses, not just Lifewave, any business, the business runs them. A lot of people want to be an entrepreneur. And what they realize is being an entrepreneur is a lot harder than being an employee, because the business runs them typically because they don't have the right mindset. So I don't want to, today's not about a bunch of tips. It's about creating a different identity, because CEOs don't wait for the perfect conditions. CEOs don't wait to see it, to believe it. They don't wait for that. CEOs don't hope the score changes. They build a system that changes the score. For the next hour, I want you acting as if you are the CEO of You Inc. Hold on, baby. If I followed you around for 30 days, if I studied your calendar, if I looked at your phone habits, if I studied your energy, would I know what your goals are without you saying a word? This question, my mentor asked me 15 years ago, and it changed my life. It changed my life because I wasn't doing the things that I needed to do. My calendar did not speak CEO. My habits did not speak CEO. My energy didn't speak CEO. Because this is what I know about most people. Most people say they want more. They want more success. They want more freedom. They want more time. They want more money. But wanting is never the problem, you guys. The problem is planning, execution, alignment. Those are all the problems. And that's what separates dreamers from doers. Goal setting is not about some fluffy wish list on a piece of paper. You have a lot of gurus out there that say, you know what? If you want to hit your goals, write them down. I'm here to tell you that's BS. Because just by simply writing them down is not going to allow you to hit your goals. Goal setting is about clarity. Goal setting is about direction. Goal setting is about telling your life where it's going before your life tells you where you're going to end up. And that's where the 99% of people are. They just wait on life to tell them where they're going to go. And they just accept it. Without goal, Without goals, life is just happens to you. Without goal, life starts happening for you. When you have goals, it starts happening for you. Every winner you admire, every single person in life, Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan, artists, the biggest artist in the world right now. I'm having a brain. My daughters listen to it all the time. She's the biggest artist, Travis Kelce. I know football. I don't really know her as much because
Taylor
I
Swift.
know her because of Travis Kelce. Who is that?
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. I mean, every single person you admire, every person you look at and say, man, I wish I had their life. I promise you this. That person did not drift their way to success. We always see their glory, but we never see their story. Taylor Swift planned it. Michael Jordan mapped it. LeBron James reverse engineered it, and they attacked it every single day with intentionality. Success is never owned, you guys. It's only rented. And when you realize that, you will change the way you do things. Because if you stop doing the things that made you get where you want to go, all of a sudden it's going to go backwards. And the rent is due every single day, not every month. You got to pay your dues every single day. The rent is paid in goal producing activities, what I call them, or income producing activities, what the industry calls them. The things you don't feel like doing, the things that aren't always fun or sexy, but they're the things that produce. Goal setting isn't just about a vision. Like I said earlier, it's about discipline. And this is the thing with discipline, you guys. Discipline is a very short decision. Am I going to work out every single day? Am I going to eat the right foods? It's a millisecond decision. But what regret will do if you're not disciplined, it will hang over you. And then you're going to look back and you're like, man, if I just would have done what Jay said I should do, where would I be? And then you live in that regret. And it's painful and it eats you alive. But when you do things with discipline, it hurts in the moment, but then you're really happy that you did it. You have to design the life you say you want. And then proving it by how you show up every single day. Because here's what happens. When you set goals properly, your time becomes way more valuable. Your energy gets more focused. I promise. Your network will start to shift and change because people are not going to understand. It's a new person. This person that's focused, this person that doesn't want to go out and drink, this person that doesn't want to waste time in the middle of the day. And then what happens is your habits begin to level up. They begin to change. They begin to become something that's going to drive your business. And most importantly, what happens, you guys, is your confidence will explode because nothing builds belief faster than keeping promises to yourself. This is the crazy thing about promises, you guys. I'm a man of my word, and I lay my laurels on all of that. But what I realized was the reason I'm a man of my word is because of my ego. I don't want to let people down. But the crazy thing about that is you will let yourself down every single day. You will break promises to yourself every single day because nobody knows about them. And it's really easy. And what I want you to not do is to break promises to yourself. When you plan your goals and attach goal-producing activities to them, you become a different person. Not because you said some affirmation, not because you got lucky, but because you've built the muscle of doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. That, my friends, is called becoming dangerous in business. And people will start to take notice. Your team that's following you will start to take notice. And this business is all about leadership. It's all about personal development. That's the greatest thing about this community is how fast and how much we can grow. And what goal setting does is about getting your future a voice in your present. It's about living by design and not by default. Most people live by default. They're reactive and not proactive. They just wait for the day to happen. What's going to happen today? It's about trading being busy for being productive. A lot of people are busy, but ask yourself, how productive are you? It's about stepping into the ownership of your results. If they're good or bad, own them. Own those results and then evaluate them and saying, if it's to be, it's up to me. No one else is the problem. Your team's not the problem. Your spouse is not the problem. Your kids are not the problem. The problem is you. And I know that's hard to hear. Looking in the mirror and saying that the problem is me. I always tell people when I read a book, it's the best conversation that I ever have. Do you know why? Because I'm having a conversation with an author that wrote a book that had 30 years of experience, and he's speaking about all the things that I could do better. And I'm just sitting there reading the book being like, you know what? He's talking to me. Because I don't have an ego, because it's me and the author. And that's what you have to do. You have to take a good, hard look at yourself and say, what do I need to change? So today, this isn't just about writing goals. It's not about, how can I, make bigger goals? This is about building a blueprint for your life. This is about creating a system for achievement. This is about defining exactly what you want. Most people never get what they want because they don't know exactly what it is that they want. I ask this question all the time to every single person I meet. And I get the same response every single time. I always ask people 2 questions. If I gave you a magic wand, how much money would you like to make every single month that you would feel like you're living the life of your dreams? And I want you to think about that question. Most people look up and to the right because they have no idea, because they've never thought of it, because they live where they are, because they don't know any better. Well, in this business, you don't have to do that. You can make exactly what you want and what you put into this. And the second question I asked them is, how much money would you like to have in the bank where you feel like you would be good for the rest of your life? And people don't know that number. And I would suggest you sit down and figure out what that number is, because that's going to help you strive towards the direction that you need to go. And then you got to map a plan to get it. And then you got to become the type of person who does the work until the work works. Because that's what CEOs do. There's not a ton of CEOs in the world. They're successful because they do the work until it works. And they don't give up. They don't hope. They don't live on hopium. They don't wish. They freaking decide every single day. They make hard decisions. And today, I hope that we can decide together that we're going to take our businesses to the next level. We're going to help as many humans as we possibly can with their wellness. We're going to help as many humans as we possibly can with their financial situation, because we have a gift. There is no reason in the world why you should keep this a secret. You should be talking to every single human being you come in contact with. You should be talking to every single contact in your phone and talking about how amazing this product is. We don't have a Me Too product. We have a product that no one else can even come close to. What other product can you say that about that exists? There's competition in every single space. So that's why today's training isn't about writing wish lists. I don't want you to write wish lists. It's about creating a CEO roadmap, a system that drives clarity, that drives direction, and then it drives execution. Because execution is the most important part of any plan. So before we get into the CEO GPS system, I want to ask you something practical. And I want you to think about this, because this changed my life forever around 9 years ago. And that is, what is your morning routine? Is it the same every single day? And what I mean by the same is that I jump out of bed, I get my kids ready for school, we're rushing to school, and I have no time for myself, and I don't get anything done in the day, and I just let the day happen for me. Or do you have a routine that sets you up for success every single day? Because this is what I know about CEOs. They have a strict morning routine. They run their day. Their day doesn't run them. What's your nightly routine? You're like, what? Nightly routine? My nightly routine is I cook dinner, I get the kids in bed, and then I just, but you have to have a routine that gets you ready for the next day. A routine that allows you to disconnect and recharge so tomorrow can be better than today. These both have to be very, very intentional. My morning routine is the same every single day, 7 days a week. I wake up, I pray and meditate. Then I read 90 pages of a business book. I know that freaks you out because that's a lot of pages. I started with 10, but I read 90. The way I do it is I read it on a Kindle and I have Audible connected to it and I listen to it at 2.3 times. It takes me about 45 minutes to get through 90 pages of a book every single day. I'm reading a book every 3 days. Start with 10. It'll take you 5 to 7 minutes, but just get a routine where you're putting good things into your mind. Then I go outside and I ground for 10 minutes. I discharge. I walk for 30 minutes so I get morning light into my eyes, so I set my circadian rhythm, all because of sleep. And then I go work out for an hour in the gym. My night routine, I finish my day every day at 6:30. I have an alarm clock that goes off. Then from 6:30 to 7, I plan my next day. I go over what I didn't get done that day. And that becomes my priority for the next day. In the morning, that's what I'm going to do right when I start my day. 7 p.m., I pop my blue light glasses on because, again, my life is centered around sleep because I know sleep is a cure for everything. And I spend an hour and a half with my kids every day. They know 7 o'clock to 8:30 is Poppy and Mommy time. Then I spend time with my wife from 8:30 to 10:30. And then I get 7 to 8 hours of sleep every single night so that I am prepared for the next day. I don't believe in you sleep when you die. I believe that you should get the amount of sleep so that you are that much more productive and not tired the next day. Now, I know a lot of you are like, I would never be able to do that. I can't do that in the morning. Listen, I will tell you what my grandfather told me. Can't die in the poorhouse. The more things you say you can't do, I'm telling you, the success that I've had in my life in the last 10 years comes from this morning routine that I am strict on. Because I have to take care of me so I can take care of everything else. If you don't take care of you, you can't take care of everything else. You're not going to be a CEO. And I promise you this, you guys, your routine is the foundation of your execution. Say that again. Your routine is the foundation of your execution. Your routine is your operating system. It's going to be what your CEO brain runs on. When I work with top leaders, I can tell within 5 minutes of a conversation that they're going to grow. Not by what they say, but how they live. Do they protect their mornings? Do they have time blocks for production? Do they know their numbers? Do they execute when they don't feel like it? That's not luck, you guys. That's leadership and a CEO's hygiene. You have to have a CEO and leadership hygiene. Now, let's talk about something else CEOs do every single day. They know their numbers. If you don't know your numbers, you will never reach them. How many people did you talk to exactly this week? How many follow-ups did you do? How many presentations did you share? How many presentations did you do? Because what gets measured gets improved. When you measure your actions, you start thinking differently. And that's the shift from the reactive that I talked about to the proactive. And that's what CEOs do. They don't hope their business grows. They track it, they test it, they tweak it. Now, let's get into the heart of today's trader. Goal setting for this last quarter through the GPS, okay? I want to talk about how to appropriately goal set. Now, I have shared a document with Garrett that he is going to put in the Facebook page that you can get. It's a fillable PDF that I have created for your goals. And I'm going to go through it very, very quickly so I can leave room for questions at the end. I do have a training on YouTube on this that is a little bit more in depth if you guys want to go through how to use this training. But what I want to do is talk about GPS. Now, how GPS came about. For me, a GPS is when I live in Miami, I had to put something in Waze every single time I go somewhere. Okay? A GPS is a goal producing system. Okay? This is our GPS of hitting our goals. How are we going to get there? You got to have a plan. And I want you to think of this as your internal navigation system. Just like when you get into your car, before you go somewhere you've been before, what's the first thing you do? Never been there before. I'm going to plug it into my destination. Why? I want to get there the fastest way possible. I want to go around all the traffic. If there's any accidents, there's any construction, I want to get there the fastest way possible. When you have a GPS in your business, it's going to get you there a lot faster. You tell the GPS where you're going. Most businesses are the same. They're in motion, but they're not in progress, you guys. They're busy, but they're not productive. And goal setting is how you plug in your coordinates. And execution is how you drive. So now when I created the GPS system, I built it around two of my favorite sports that I like to watch. I had an insurance agency, and I would get to the end of the day and I would talk to my producers, and they'd be like, oh man, the day just got away from me. This happened, that happened. And so, I'd watch basketball and football, and I was like, these games are played in quarters. And when I watch those games, what I see is the score and the time. It's the two things that I pay attention to the whole time. And if my team that I'm watching is losing, I'm like, they got another quarter. It's okay. Or if it's at the end of the fourth quarter, I'm like, oh my God, they got to really step it up. Oh man, they're going to lose. Like, this is the mental game. But at the end of every quarter, the team goes to the sideline, the team goes to the bench, and they have a conversation about what worked and what didn't work. So when I built this system, I built it around quarters. And if you think about it, everything can be broken down into quarters. All right. And so they huddle up, they evaluate, and then what do? They adjust, right? Then they go out to the next quarter and see if they can get back in the game, if they can stop the other team. And the best teams in the world, you guys, none of them are perfect, right? You can win a Super Bowl and come back the next year and be in last place. Some teams can start off really bad and then end up really good at the end of the year. Why? You know why? Because they're constantly adjusting. And that's what you have to do in your business. You constantly have to adjust what's working, what's not working. So that's how you have to approach your goals. Whatever dedicated time you're putting in this business, if it's an hour a day, if it's 2 hours a day, 4 hours a day, whatever it is, we're going to break that down into quarters. I'm going to show you how to do that in your business. But you also have to do this in your personal life. You have to do this with your health. You have to do this with your relationships. You have to create space for constant check-ins in your marriage. My wife and I have date night every Friday for the last 5 years. These are also check-ins. How are things going? What can we do better? How can we spend more time together this week? We reflect, we adjust. This strategy isn't just for business goals, you guys. This works for any area of life you want to grow in. I hope that to be your takeaway today. Yeah, we're talking about your Lifewave business, but I will tell you this. If your personal life is not good, your Lifewave business is not going to be good. It's just a fact of life. So all these principles that I'm going to talk to you about today all works in life. Okay, so I'm going to share a slide. I have the ability to share.
Yes.
Okay. Confusion, you guys, is the enemy of success. And clarity is power. So the way you set goals, and a lot of you might have heard of this before, but I'm just going to recover it, right? They got to be SMART. It's an acronym, right? They got to be very, very specific, which I'm going to show you how to set those specific goals. They have to be measurable. So you have to measure them every day, every week. Where am I versus where I want to be? They have to be attainable. A lot of people set goals that are just way far out. Now, I always say your goals have to make you uncomfortable, but they have to be attainable. They have to be relevant to what you want to accomplish, to your number. What do I want to make every single month that's going to make me feel like I'm living the life of my dreams? And then they have to be time-based. Time-based is no longer than 90 days. Because us as humans, we procrastinate. And if we make them longer than 90 days, we're going to go after them. I mean, if we make them a year, we're going to go after them in October, November. That's why this right now, what we're talking about is October, November, December. And I want you to get prepared for January, February, March. You got to always be prepared for what's coming up next, okay? So the GPS, the goal planning system, I want you guys to think about in 4 quarters. So the year has 4 quarters. Right now, we're in 4th quarter, October, November, December. Every single year has 4 quarters that it breaks down. Every month has 4 quarters. It has 4 weeks in every single month. So the first quarter of the month, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, that's the weeks. Every single week also has 4 quarters. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Like, what about Friday, Saturday, Sunday? This is the way I play this game, right? This is a game that I play. I want to get all my work done Monday through Thursday. If I don't, and I don't hit my numbers and I don't hit my goals, Friday is overtime. But if I do hit my goals Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I get to play golf. If I don't get to play golf. So I love to play golf. So I am trying to get everything accomplished by Thursday, but you have to be accountable to yourself. If I don't hit, my wife's like, hey, you're not playing golf today. You didn't have a good week? Nope. It's overtime today. All right. If I don't hit it by Friday, guess what? Saturday, I got to work. Sunday is off limits. It's got to carry over to the next week because Sunday is my family day. That's my girls and my wife's time. Nothing gets in the way of that. And the day has 4 quarters. If you work this business 8 hours a day, 2-hour quarters. And you're going to check in with yourself and see, and you're going to see this on the goal sheet. If you work in an hour a day, 15-minute quarters. At the end of 15 minutes, where am I at? Okay, I got to adjust. I got to adjust. I got to adjust. I got to adjust. Okay? So the main way you set goals is you got to have a goal. All right? So write goals down. Cool. Most people say you're going to hit them if you just write them down. Nope. Second step is you got to have goal producing activities. What are the activities that I need to do that are actually going to get me to the goal? And then the third step that everyone misses, you got to calendar it. A calendar means commitment. It's got to go on your calendar. I'm doing this at this time. It's very intentional. I'm making this many calls at 10 o'clock. I'm making this many calls at 1 o'clock. I'm making this many calls at 3 o'clock. I'm going out to meet people that I've never met before at 1 o'clock. I'm going to Starbucks. I'm going to Target. I'm going to the gym. I'm going to sit in the sauna. I'm going to do whatever it is, which I'm going to tell you right now. I've met so many people in a sauna. That is the secret, you guys, because guess what? My shirt's off. The patches are on my back. Everyone's like, what is that? And the sauna is full of 5, 6 guys. Yesterday, I got 3 to sign up just from sitting in the sauna talking to one guy that asked me. Everyone else came up to me. But you got to put it on a calendar. Calendar equals commitment. So I never like to talk negative, but you're going to fail. It's a fact of life. You have to embrace it. Part of my core values is trust the process of failure. But you need to know that failure isn't the end. Failure makes you stronger. Failure makes you hungry. Failure makes you grow. The only time you really fail in life is when you quit or give up. Failure is just an educator. It's just telling you what not to do. And so my challenge for you is never measure where you are today or where you've been in the past versus exactly where you want to go. It doesn't matter. That was just preparing you for today, preparing you for this message, preparing you for this quarter, preparing you for your life. The past has nothing to do with your future. Nothing. Besides, it was an educator to teach you exactly what not to do and what you could do better. So what I want to do real quick is I want to go through this form with you guys. And like I said, he's going to put it on the Facebook page. And I want to share this with you really quickly. And I'll be wrapping up here in about 10 minutes. But let me share. Hold on a second. Okay, so this is the GPS. And I'm going to go through this really, really quickly, you guys. But you guys are going to have access to this. And this is a fillable PDF, okay? So what I see as goals that we should be setting in our business is how many brand partners do we want to bring in the business, okay? So this is a quarter right here, okay? So change these to October, November, and December. And so you're going to set your goals in 3-month increments, right? So let's just say the month of October, we want to bring in 50 brand partners, okay? And November, we want to bring in 60, and we want to bring in 70. This is how you're going to go through this, okay? Now, also, how many customers? You're going to do the same thing. And you can see goal and actual, right? Measurable. Measuring where you're at. What did I do? What I actually do. Customers. How many customers do we want to bring in the business? How many premiums do I want to bring in the business this month? Out of that 50, we want to bring in at least 10, right? What do I want my rank to be this month? Maybe we want it to be senior director this month. And then what do I want my income to be this month? Maybe it's $5,000. I want to make $1,250 a week, okay? This is just the goal, right? This is what we're writing down. This is what I'm saying. When you write down goals, it doesn't actually mean that you're going to hit them because you got to have a plan in place. But what I want to show you really, really quickly is this. There's 4 weeks. So now I have this month's goal. I'm going to divide everything by 4, right? So if I divide 50 by 4, what is that going to give me? Anybody know? Oh, actually, it's not a webinar. So 50 divided by 4. 50, sorry. 50, this is what you're going to do. You're going to do this math. 50 divided by 4 is 12 and a half. Well, there's no such thing as 12 and a half people. So you got to round up. So it's 13, 13, 13, and 13. So now that big 50 number that is our goal, all I got to do is get 13. Change that number. Say I want to bring in 6. How many do I have to bring in every single week? I got to bring in 2 every week because I got to round up. Okay, you guys get the gist of this. Again, I'm limited on time. So 2, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to divide everything by 4 in here. Now, this is the GPA. This is the goal producing activity. What do I need to do to hit these numbers? How many prospects do I want to patch in the month? So if I want 6, 10% is going to be the number, right? So if I want 6, I'm going to have to patch 60 people. You're like, oh my God, I got to patch 60 people in a month. Okay, well, how many do I have to patch each week? Well, 60 divided by 4 is 60 divided by 4 is 15 each week. Each day, I got to patch how many people? 4 divided by 15 is 4. I got to patch 4 people 4 days a week. 4 people, that's it. Right? That 60 number seems big, but when you break it down and divide it, now the numbers become a lot smaller, right? Opportunity calls. How many of those am I going to do? Follow-ups. You guys, this is the magic right here. When you started this business, you didn't know how to talk about it. All the people that you follow. Now, I'm going to teach you real quick how to follow up people. Don't follow up people to talk about patch. Follow up to talk to people about what's going on in their life. All the things you talked about last time. Make a note. When they don't go with a business, put a note on your calendar with that person's name and what you talked about. So when you call them up, you're like, hey, how was your vacation? I know you were going to Italy. You still loving the job? Awesome. And then they're going to say, hey, how's that patch thing going? Oh my God, it's absolutely amazing. I mean, it's way better than I thought. Way better than I told you. That's how you follow people. But how many people are you going to follow up? If we're only closing 10% of the people we talk to, which is an average number, that means 90% of the people you can follow up with, and that should be a part of your day. What about customer follow-up? We follow up with all of our customers. You know why? Because when they have a great experience, which they're going to, we're going to ask them if they want to get it for free. And then once they bring 3 people in, they want to say, you know, you can get paid for this, right? Like the more people you bring in, the company is going to pay you to do that. And then we upgrade them. They're in our orbit. How many auto ship follow-ups? There's a lot of people that don't have auto ship. Follow up with them and talk to them. This is 80% of your time, you guys. These income or goal producing activities are 80% of your time. Down here's the other 20%. Coaching calls. How many times are you meeting with the people on your team? Team calls. When are you doing team calls? How many are you going to do a month? Reading. Back office. How much are you reading every month? How much are you in the back office, studying the back office? Any videos are uploaded? Understanding the business better. Social media. How much are you going to post every month? Now I know, listen, you guys, social media is something that everyone's not comfortable with. But I'm gonna give you this analogy real quick. When you take a photo and you're in a group, who's the first person you look at the photo? Yourself. I know because every time my wife takes a picture, she says it's a great picture and my eyes are closed. So I'm like, babe, you didn't look at me. My eyes are closed. Same thing when you do a video, you guys. If you do a video and you watch the video, you're never going to post it. Do the video and post it. Make sure it's compliant, but post the video. Perfection is not what people want to see on social media. Education content. How much time are you going to spend watching other people's social media? Listen, everything I do, you guys, I steal. In the book that I wrote, the first sentence I wrote in the book is everything you're going to learn, I stole. No one's following you that's following them. If you see something that's really good and that's compliant, why reinvent the wheel? Do it on your social media. So this is with the goals that you should be setting and then executing and implementing every single day. All right. So I know I flew through that, but let's just understand what you got to do at the end of each week or at the end of each day. You got to huddle up. You got to huddle up your team. You got to look at what went right. You got to look at what went wrong. And then you need to adjust every single week. And you need to look in the mirror and be like, you know what? I didn't do a good job of this last week. This is what I need to do now. And then that's what you got to do every quarter, because your GPS system isn't about direction. It's about correction. And you're not going to win every single time. It's okay, but you got to adjust so that you can win the next time, because no plan survives contact with real life. No plan. It doesn't survive contact with real life. But the people who win are the ones who stay aware, stay flexible, and stay consistent. I want you guys to write this big on a piece of paper or a note in your phone. Motivation starts you, momentum pays you, and impetus builds legacies. Motivation starts you, momentum pays you, and impetus builds legacy. The difference between momentum and impetus is if you're on a hill and you just let a car go down a hill, it has momentum, but eventually it's going to stop. When you have impetus, when you get to the bottom of the hill, it's going back to the top of the hill. And that's what's important in building a business. Your month doesn't pay you guys. Every day pays you. So I want to talk about a few specific things that I want you guys to take away from this that you can implement in your business. And that is the core play that I call the power hour. Even if you have 1 hour a day, you got to run one clean, focused 60-minute money hour is what I call it. 20 minutes, new reach outs. And I tell people this all the time. Listen, what I do, I have 4,700 contacts on my phone from the last 30 years. 4,700. I pocket dial people all the time. And I'm like, hey, Tom, what's going on? Wait, is this Tom Walters? Oh my God, what's going on? I haven't talked to you in ages. How you been? What are you up to? What are you doing? And then I'm going to ask him, how's work? Oh, work's great. How long you been there? 15 years. Oh my God, that's amazing. What do you love about it? I don't really love anything about it, but it's just, it pays the bills. Well, what's one thing you change about it? I change everything about it. And then what's going to happen next? What are you up to? What are you doing? That's when you got to have your 30-second commercial ready. You got to know exactly what you say. I say, listen, dude, I've been a serial entrepreneur since I got out of high school. But I'm in this device business, man. It's amazing. It's changed my life more than anything's ever changed my life. People are transforming with this device. It's insane. All the discomfort in my body from getting old is gone. All my energy is amazing. And that's the conversation I'm having with people to get in that conversation. They're like, oh my God, how do I get it? Oh man, it's so easy. You could buy it retail for $150 a month, but nobody really does that because you can get it $99 a month with an auto ship that you could cancel anytime. Or you could be a brand partner with a company and they'll pay you for sharing. Which one sounds most appealing to you? And that's how I get into a conversation. And then in that power hour of those people that you're calling, 20 minutes should be on follow-ups, people that you've talked to in the past. You know when we call the most people in this business? Within the first 90 days. You know when we are the worst at doing this business? In the first 90 days. So as you get better, follow up with these people. And then you should spend 20 minutes with follow-ups with team members to see who needs help. You could also jump on Zooms with people and do this together as a group so that there's some accountability, so that you don't feel alone. And then you guys can share results live. If you get somebody on the phone and it went well, you guys can all share and it's going to motivate you. If you guys could do a couple of these power hours a day, I'm telling you, your business is going to be golden. But you have to be intentional and planned. Champions don't negotiate with their goals, you guys. They calendar them. It's on a calendar. It's a commitment. All right. So the last thing I want to talk about with this GPS is that a true CEO, they don't roll into a new year, you guys. Right now, I want you to think about January and February. They launch into it. So planning this last end of this quarter, because we all know in any business, November after Thanksgiving and December is slow, but it doesn't have to be. We don't have to accept that. If we have these goals and we're doing the same activity, we could still have an amazing end of year. They launch into it. They launch it. So close out 2025 strong with intention and then preload January so your momentum is waiting for you on day one. So how do you do this? At the end of the year, evaluate your business and ask some key questions. Where did I get my biggest results? Then keep it. Double down on that. What did you do or avoid or resent doing? Cut it or change it. What nearly worked? Tweak it, change it. What day and times produce the most enrollments? Pay attention to that. Keep it, double down. Which follow approach reactivated the most people or got the people that were ghosting you to call you? Keep it. And then, this is something that most people forget. Celebrate if you had success. Reward yourself with something. I reward myself with golf because it's something I love. But know what that is now. And if you hit those goals, reward yourself. And then recognize people that had small or big wins. If they had a small win, recognize them publicly on your social media or anywhere. All right, guys? So last thing, execution is the difference maker. This is where most people stop. They leave a training like this. They may be inspired, maybe even motivated for a few days. Let me be very clear. Motivation is very temporary. Zig Ziglar said this: motivation is like taking a shower. You need to take one every single day. Motivation is what got you guys here today. But execution is what's going to get you where you want to go. Ideas are free. There's all kinds of books and all kinds of inspiration everywhere. But execution is the rarest thing. Execution is what separates people from people that talk, from people who win. And here's the truth. Everything you want is already available to you. Success isn't hiding from you. People think success is hiding. It's just not for me. I haven't had success. Abundance isn't hiding from you. Your dream life, the one you keep seeing in your mind that you wish that you had, it's waiting on one thing, you guys. Not talent, not luck, not timing. It's waiting on you. It's waiting on you. It's waiting on the version of you that shows up every single day and stops negotiating with your goals and decides, this is who I am now. I'm this person. I'm not special, you guys. I lived in my car 20 years ago. 20 years ago, I made a decision. That wasn't going to be my life. I don't have a college degree. I have 3 years of college. I had a baby when I was 18 years old. I had a responsibility. That's why I read incessantly. Because I want to be one of the most educated people on the planet. And I have control that most people stop reading when they get out of college. I started reading when I finished my 3 years. And I've read over 2,000 books. Everyone can do that. This is a line in the sand moment, you guys. Right now, this is your line in the sand moment. You can make that decision. Even if you're watching this later, this is a line in the sand moment. Go to the beach, do this. This is where average ends. This is where excuses die. This is where the next chapter of your life begins. Not next month, not next Monday, right now. Because if you're breathing, you're capable. Why? I'm not special. I made a decision. That was the only difference between you and I. If you're on this call, you're called. If you're hearing my voice, you're responsible. Because nobody is coming to save you, I promise you. But nobody needs to. Nobody needs to come save you. Everything you need to win is already inside of you. My biggest goal in this lifetime is to make people realize what they have inside of them that they don't even know exists. And I'm telling you right now, everyone that's listening and watching this call has everything it takes to create the life, the business, and impact as many human beings as you possibly can. And your job from here is so simple. Get clear, make the plan, do the work, keep promises to yourself, and win every single day. And stack enough days like that, you guys, the weeks will change. Stack enough weeks, the months will change. Stack enough months, your life will change. I want to leave you with a couple thoughts. Remember, this training is recorded. Go back through it, watch it, take notes, absorb it, and most importantly, use it and share it. Share with your team. Make sure that everyone in your organization has access to trainings, whoever's training you're using. As a CEO, your responsibility is not just to set goals for yourself, but to teach other people how to set goals for life. Go through this form and do this as a group. Because when people share their goals outside, there's accountability that's created there. Use this tool. Sit down with your team. Use them with people in your organization. Use them with your kids. Use it with anybody that you care about. Because when you help someone set a goal, you give them direction. And when you help them build a plan, you give them power. And that's what I love to do. I love to give people power. That's why I asked, how much money do you want to make? I want you to visualize. I want you to live the life that you deserve. You guys are not just a brand partner. You guys are the CEO. You're the chief energy officer of your business. You're the one who sets the tone, the pace, and the standard. So I want you guys to make a decision today. Decide to run your business like a CEO. Decide to lead your team like a CEO. Decide to live your life like a CEO with clarity, ownership, and purpose, because dreams don't work unless you do. And dreams will become a nightmare if you don't do the work. Now it's time to get to work intentionally, strategically, like the leader that you all were created to be. And I want to thank you guys for the most precious commodity that you have, and that is your time. I really hope to see you guys next week in Anaheim. Make sure if you see me, just do me a huge favor. Come up and say hello. Let's connect. Let's talk about some of the situations in your business that we could take to the next level, because this is what I know. We all rise together. You can help me, I can help you. And let's really do something special with this gift that we have in our hands. And let's really change a lot of lives. So thank you guys so much for your time today. I really appreciate the opportunity. Garrett, I'm very humbled that you guys asked me to do this. And I hope you guys have an amazing day.
Incredible. That was a masterclass on a mindset and thinking like a CEO, but also just how to set a goal and the mindset going into setting those goals. So thank you so much for that incredible information. I did have one question that I'd love to ask, just because I think it goes right along with what you're kind of sharing. And this is from Rui Miguel. He says, Jay, can you comment on Tim Grover's work, Winning? Now, I think whether you've actually seen or heard this, I don't know, the unforgiving race for greatness. He says that winning is a relentless fight that happens in the battlefield of the mind. So this is where the question comes in. How can we have a sharp mind of a top, how can we have the sharp mind of a top athlete as well as help our team have one?
Well, I know Tim. I've read Relentless and Winning as well. I actually know Tim Grover really well. He coached Michael Jordan through his all of his wins, and he was mindset coach to Michael Jordan. And I would say really it just starts with making a decision, right? I mean, I think what we do a lot of times is we sell ourselves short of what we are, who we are. And if I always tell people, you're constantly lying to yourself. And I think that once you get control of your subconscious mind and the already always listening voice that you're used to telling yourself, or all the other people in your life that have told you things that, that you started to believe, like they're all just lies. We tell ourselves lies every single day. And as soon as you can get rid of those lies and understand that everything that you're telling yourself is untrue, and what we tell ourselves that for is because it gives us an out to not be as good as we want to be. So I would just say you got to start with understanding that, you were put here by God to do great things. And as soon as you realize that you are as great as anybody else on this planet and that you can impact lives at a high level, that's when everything is going to change for you. And you just have to wake up every day with affirmations, which I do, and gratitude in your life for what the gifts that God has given you, and do something with it. And that narrative, like in the slide I shared, the reason I said that, it doesn't matter what happened in the past. It doesn't matter your success you've had in the past. Like all that was education, not failure, not who you are, not your identity. It's all education. And I would just say, take, those books that you're reading, Tim would tell you he's not special either. He just manages his mind. And the mind is a really, really hard thing to manage. And once you can get grasp on managing, what those thoughts are going through your head, and stop lying to yourself, then you're going to have great success in your life.
That was incredible. Great answer. And I'm sure that was exactly what they're looking for. Thank you so much for the time that you put into us and that you've given to us today. It's Having someone like you at Lifewave, you know, as well. So we've got, it's just such incredible leaders all over. But thank you for being willing to come on and share this information. It certainly, there's been many requests about where can we find this? Because I already want to rewatch it. I can't tell everyone as well. We have posted in the Facebook group the fourth quarter GPS earnings or goal setting document that Jay shared. So you can go find it there and download it now. We look forward to being able to make sure that each of you have a chance to take advantage of that, because right now setting up 2020, the end of 2025 really launches you into 2026, as Jay said. And so take focus now, go into conference, learn as much as you can, and come out of it running. And there's going to be some announcements and some things that you're going to want to be prepared and ready for, so that when we do come out of conference, you are running. And so now's the time to prepare. So Jay, thanks again. Thank you so much. It has been an absolute pleasure listening to you and being able to share this with our Lifeway family. And thanks everyone else for being on with us today. It's always a pleasure to be able to share these things with you. And I guarantee this is one you're going to want to rewatch, and make sure you have a pad and paper, and make sure you take good notes, because there is a lot of information. I started taking a few notes and I kind of gave up because there was so much. I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go back and rewatch it. Anyway, thank you again, Jay, and we'll look forward to catching up with you all again next month on our Lifewave Connect Business.
Sorry, I went a little long. I just wanted to get through everything. So I know we want to leave it for question answers, but I apologize for going a little long. So
no, the topic was that the information was incredible. So I don't think anyone would complain about you going a little long and covering everything that you did. So thanks again.
Awesome. Thank you, Garrett. And thanks for the opportunity. And you guys, listen, I just want to end with this. You are in exact control of what you need to do to be successful in this business, and don't ever doubt yourself. And let's go do something that has never been done before in any business or any life, and change a lot of lives. So I want to be on that journey with you guys, and let's do something incredible.
Love it. Bye, everyone.